Well, hey, what's up, guys? Back with you today for day number 7. We have a scripture from Psalm 46:10. It is an often cited scripture, and we are quoting it often in our lives. But it says this: God speaking says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be honored by every nation. I will be honored throughout the world." And then it says this: have you ever noticed how quickly you move from one thing to another? In one moment, you can be focused on what projects you have to complete for work, or the next, you're wondering about the needs of your children. And then after you think about those things, your mind switches gears and moves on to something else. We have become so accustomed to living our lives at an incredibly hurried pace. No wonder it's difficult for us to experience peace. Now, that's a great point. Okay, thankfully, God offers a remedy for our hurried lifestyles by commanding us to be still. The Hebrew word rapha, translated as be still, literally means to sink down or relax. In other words, God is commanding us to take a break, to let Him have control, to trust that He can do much more with far less. We will experience peacefulness when we eliminate hurry and focus on being still. So the question to ask is, what are some ways you can practice being still throughout your day? Now, this is a really powerful devotion and super relevant, convicting. I did write this devotion, which is part of the reason why it kind of pierced my heart, because I was writing to myself. And the truth is, I live my life at such a hurried pace and moving, throughout the day so quickly and kind of from one thing to the next. And, it's my mind is kind of always racing and the gears are always turning, that I find it hard to be still. In fact, in a lot of ways, for those of you who are new, I live in New York City and in Manhattan. And so my life is a lot of times like representative of the chaos that's happening outside of my window. And, and so it's so easy to just kind of move on from one thing to the next. But a quote that I read several years ago from theologian and philosopher Dallas Willard said, "You must ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life." Now that for me was huge, because it's like you have to just kind of combat it at every turn, because if you don't, you will always be in this kind of rat race. And what I found is that when I do that, I'm far more able to experience peace in my life and have peace in my being, in my spirit. And so here's some of the things that I do, or that I, try to make a practice of. I'm not perfect at these things, but I try to make a practice of these things. I try to each morning, I try to, like, when I wake up, the first thing I do is I check my Bible app, and I just want to read the verse of the day. I use YouVersion, and they have a verse of the day. I try to check that and let that kind of set the tone for how I'm going to do, or how I'm going to go about my day. Then I dedicate the first hour of my day to just read, pray, make some coffee, casually. I literally, on my phone, actually, I have deleted social media, not permanently, but I delete it every night before I go to bed. Facebook, Instagram, because what I don't want to do is wake up and first thing in the morning be checking Instagram or checking Facebook or checking Twitter and seeing what's happening. And so I delete those things, and I purposely don't download them back onto my phone until after 8 or 9 a.m. I usually wake up like around 5 or a little bit before 5. So those are some of the things that I do, and I try to practice throughout my day. And then later in the day, I just try to, like, after I get done with work, I take a walk around the block, or I take the dog out for a walk around a few blocks, just 10, 15 minutes. And it's just, again, eliminating distraction, not being on my phone, just something simple to make myself feel a little bit more at ease and a little bit more at peace. So those are some of the things that I do. But what about you? What are some things that you do or that you will do to experience peace throughout your day? Write them in the comments. Let us know. And let's share ideas and collaborate so that we can encourage one another to move forward in this area.